So with the Galaxy S27 Ultra, Samsung is bringing back a feature it abandoned 8 years ago. Not because they suddenly started caring about it again, but because Apple is adding the same thing to the iPhone 18 Pro. Plus, Samsung is doing something pretty unexpected with the S27 lineup. Let's get into it. What's up guys, Sal here. So at this point, everyone, including their dog, knows that Samsung loves reacting to Apple. Back then, they would at least wait a year or two before copying something. Now, they don't even wait for Apple to officially launch the product first. The S25 Edge and the upcoming Z Fold 8 Wide are perfect examples. Apple's been rumored to launch the ultra-thin iPhone Air, and suddenly Samsung decides thin phones are exciting again. Same thing with the Fold 8 Wide. We asked Samsung for years to make a wide foldable, but as soon as Samsung hear Apple wants a wider foldable design, and magically they're now interested in wider foldables too. And now we have the Galaxy S27 Ultra. According to Iceuniverse and a few more tipsters, Samsung is bringing back variable aperture on the main camera of the S27 Ultra. And once again, the timing is interesting because Apple is expected to introduce similar tech on the iPhone 18 Pro models. Now technically, Samsung already did this first with the Galaxy S9 back in 2019. So this entire situation is basically Apple copying Samsung's old idea, while Samsung copies Apple for copying Samsung's idea.
What the f does that even mean?
Anyway, if you don't know what variable aperture is, it's a camera feature that physically changes how much light enters the lens depending on the scene. More light in darker environments, less light in brighter ones, just like an actual camera lens. And unlike half the AI camera improvements companies keep marketing these days, this is real hardware doing real work. Samsung's old implementation on the S9 wasn't bad either. The problem was the sensor itself was too small for people to notice a major difference. But smartphone cameras are much larger now, so variable aperture could actually matter this time. Better low light shots, more natural depth of field, cleaner highlights, stuff camera nerds actually care about. The real question is whether Samsung goes with the same dual stop system from the S9 or a proper continuous variable aperture like a real camera. Xiaomi already did the continuous version years ago, so the tech exists. And honestly, anything less than that would feel outdated in 2027. Now the S27 Ultra is also expected to get Samsung's new front camera design that dramatically reduces the size of the punch hole cutout. We recently heard that the Z Fold 8 and the Fold 8 Wide will feature an insanely tiny 2.5mm selfie camera cutout down from the current 3.7mm size. And realistically, there's no way Samsung keeps that exclusive to the foldables. The Ultra phones are still the face of Samsung's mobile division, so the S27 Ultra will most certainly get it too. The S27 Ultra is also expected to get a brand new main camera sensor. Same sensor size, but apparently Samsung is confident enough in it that they're removing the 3x telephoto lens entirely, leaving the phone with just 3 cameras. Not like the 3x camera was amazing anyway, but I'm a little concerned about the zoom quality between 3x and 5x. If Samsung can maintain the same quality in that range using sensor crop alone, then honestly most people probably wouldn't miss the dedicated 3x lens much. There's also a chance Samsung switches to a horizontal camera layout instead of the current vertical design, mainly because the existing camera placement keeps interfering with MagSafe style accessories. That part still isn't confirmed though. Samsung is also reportedly upgrading the ultra-wide camera and adding new low-fig HDR tech, which is basically next-gen HDR processing. So overall, this could end up being the biggest ultra camera upgrade in years. Now here's something a lot of us didn't see coming. The reputed Korean publication ZDNet Korea reports that Samsung may use cheaper OLED panels from BOE on some S27 models instead of their own Samsung display panels. Why? Well, because DRAM and storage prices are going crazy right now, and Samsung apparently wants to cut costs somewhere without hiking the phone prices again. To be clear, the Ultra and Pro models are still expected to exclusively use Samsung's own displays. The cheaper BOE panels would likely be limited to the base S27 models. Samsung has already used BOE panels on some of its mid-range phones like the A57, but this would be the first time BOE panels make their way into Samsung's flagship lineup. And honestly, if that helps Samsung avoid another price increase, most buyers probably won't care too much as long as the Ultra phones keep the good stuff. By the way, right now Samsung is offering a flat $200 discount along with a free $100 credit on the S26 Ultra. So if you're interested, I'll leave the offer link down in the description. Now this is easily the best look we've had yet on the Z Fold 8 White. Click right here to check it out and I'll see you there.